Good morning. Tradable looking matches yesterday, and the shorties certainly delivered all at home, all scoring the 3 goals I did suspect that they would score, as I mentioned in yesterday's video. Antwerp and Dender, the only tradie angle here. If Dender scored first, the newly promoted side take them on. Drum roll, please. And Fila scoring first in the second minute. That may have tempted one or two of you into a half-time play with 43 minutes to go, and that wouldn't have been incorrect, but you wouldn't have got the goal. Simple, lay over 1.5 goals, and if +1 was short enough, great. Otherwise, you go match odds, and if you go match odds, you'll have made a loss on the draw there. So, given it's a 1.453 favourite, I doubt +1 odds would have been very good, given it was only a second-minute goal. Plymouth and Watford. Plymouth, very good at home, can score 2 or 3 goals under Wayne Rooney, football genius. I've only had the one defeat recently in the last 6 at home, and that was a 0-1. So, did Watford score? Did Watford lead 0-2? That would have been a beautiful angle to have. I'm not sure I would have taken on a Plymouth lead necessarily. Well, you'd have been amply rewarded with a quick recovery from Plymouth and back again. Porteous, Wayne Rooney, Porteous, Wayne Rooney, football genius, half-time team talk. And had you done +1, you'd have been absolutely delighted with that. Alternatively, if you're looking at Plymouth's home record recently, and it's very, very impressive under Wayne Rooney, football genius, then you'd have had a chance or persuade yourself 3 goals here, 3 here, 2 here, 3 here, 2 here. So you could have laid Watford very, very late on. That's how you create low risk, high return with an argument to back it up. Scoring 2+ goals consistently, remaining unbeaten at home consistently under Wayne Rooney. Monaco and Brest and PSG. Both sides, you're expecting to score 3 or so goals today and expecting to get back on the winning trail. So again, it's all about, from a trading perspective, who scores first, and it looks like very, very comfortable for Monaco. Indeed, it was 3-1 until a late consolation in the 96th minute. Just add a little gloss to the scoreline. So as comfortable as the odds suggest, that's why I like teams like this. They are going to win. You're expecting them to win comfortably. So we take advantage if they're not going to win comfortably. If they concede first, for example. French Ligue 2, well, Martigues and Red Star getting pounded yet again. Did Red Star score first? No, they didn't. So just be careful with Martigues and Red Star, newly promoted and struggling. Both bottom 2 could be gettable this season, particularly when leading. Those are my 2 standouts. Bayern Munich scoring 3 goals, as you'd expect, of a 1.13 shot. Did they get the break before half-time? No, they didn't. So possibilities for those of you hoping that 1.13 translates into 3+ goals. 3-0, 3-1, any other home score at half-time. You'd have got amply rewarded from Sir Harold of Kane, getting a hat-trick, 2 of them penalties as well. So putting a bit of a gloss on the scoreline again, a couple of pens for a 3-0 win. Doesn't stand out, does it, that? For a 1.13 shot, 2 second-half pens. Over 2.5 goals is expected in the Eerste Divisie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 10 over 2.5 goals yesterday. I sincerely hope you played. I mention this every Friday. Both teams to score over 2.5 goals. Accumulated didn't quite come in, but we're on the right track, you see. Only a 54% overs ratio, though, but that will increase after this lot yesterday. Getafe, you'd have expected to beat Valladolid. One of these redemption-style matches, watch out for them. A side in poor recent form suddenly catapulted into odds-on status. Why? It's not based on recent form. Look at this, it's awful. Prior to the win, of course. It's Danny Dyer. So take the hint. The market's expecting a turnaround, meeting the right team at the right time to end a poor run, and comfortable as you'd like. That's how you do it. On to today. I'll be doing a live stream at 2:30 p.m. We start giving away Premier League research for free on a Saturday, so look out for that. Belgian Jupiler League, not going to research that, but we've got 2 odds-on favourites. They did deliver yesterday, Monaco, PSG and Bayern Munich, both similar odds, all similar odds, and are delivering. So watch out for Club Brugge again. Returnees from Europe as well. Leicester and Chelsea, an ideal opportunity, I think, for Chelsea to fill their boots against a newly promoted Leicester who have been floundering a little. Arsenal, 3 matches without a win. Must win today. Simple. But they're playing a very much in form and confident Nottingham Forest. Far too reliant on Chris Wood's goals, it must be said, but defensively sound as well. Could be a frustrating afternoon for the Arse. Let's just check out, make sure there's no upcoming Champions League to spoil our fun next week. Surely we'll have a break from that. No, the Champions League continues unabated, so there's absolutely no rest for these big guns. Arsenal are away at Sporting Lisbon on Tuesday the 26th. So we don't get any real clear weekend matches. There's always some niggle. Either it's international football or it's the Champions League. And the Champions League has hit these big sides. And how this season. Arsenal and Man City, 4-match losing run in all competitions, 3 without a win. No coincidence. Similar story, Aston Villa involved in the Champions League. It's because the Champions League matches are so high profile so early. It's just knocked this lot off kilter, you can see. Buzzing nicely. Post-Champions League, it's all gone a little Lionel Blair. So, caution. But Crystal Palace, where's that second goal? That's simple as that. Where's that second goal? Are these sides like Arsenal, Aston Villa, Man City, Champions League sides going to have some respite today? Or are they going to be affected by upcoming fixtures? Where's Villa? Probably on Wednesday. There's just no let-up for them. It makes reading these matches incredibly difficult. It's not pure form. The kind of pure form you'll be seeing from those not involved in the Champions League and Europa League. They don't have the distractions and they're showing their real form. We're nowhere near the real form of this lot because of this Champions League niggle. Bournemouth and Brighton, I would be expecting goals in this one today. 2 sides full of confidence and full of goals. So it's going to be a fascinating match, but the market, like me, non-committal. Everton and Brentford, again, which Everton turns up. They are one of the most defensively sound sides in the Premier League. But they could score 2 goals against the right team. It's a difficult match to unpack. You don't have to trade every match. Okay. Fulham and Wolves. Well, Wolves are on a downhill run at the moment. Gary O'Neill is lucky to still be in a job if he is still there. Fulham could take advantage. And this is must-win territory, or must not lose for Man City. Otherwise, it would be a historic 5th consecutive defeat for Pep Guardiola. So it's going to be a fire and blustery match. I would expect, or I would look at the possibility to take Tottenham on with Man City needing to get a result. A bit like Getafe yesterday, isn't it? 1.45. For this kind of form, you're having a giraffe sack. 1.45. After this, redemption, like Getafe. But they're going to be tested, that's for sure, against the Spuds. English Championship will be looked at in the live stream. Our primary focus will be odds-on favourites initially. But I'm open to reacting to events and looking at the in-play stats, particularly with sides like Coventry who can threaten goals now and again. French League get a bit of a back seat, and you can tell it's a bit of a messy market. Saint-Etienne having a good time, newly promoted. Lyon involved in the Champions League and away from home. Marseille involved in Europe and away from home. Could be vulnerable again. German Bundesliga today. Bayer Leverkusen, another side affected by the Champions League. Nowhere near the reliability that they've had we've actually had a couple of 0-0s at half time, for goodness sake. And what's going on with the 0-0? I did pre-warn you about that one. 0-0, 1-1. This Champions League is stopping Bayer Leverkusen scoring goals. That's how impactful it's been. Really poor, aren't they? But suddenly, well, 1.2. Are they going to click into gear? It does look very layable on recent form, doesn't it? Goals are drying up. Confidence has been hit. Champions League taking another victim. Dortmund have been excellent. I expect them along their merry way, but yet again, they're away at Dinamo Zagreb on the 27th. So again, Hoff in Europe, Leipzig away in the Champions League, or Leipzig are in the Champions League, probably on the Tuesday. Stuttgart, so we've got to watch out for these German sides. Leverkusen as well. Xabi Alonso has not had to cope with this Champions League and being a Bundesliga champion before. And the cracks are starting to show. Leipzig as well, away from home, could be vulnerable. Stuttgart in the Champions League as well, but very strong favourite. They don't tend to be affected pre-Champions League, Stuttgart, who tend to put in good performances. So we've still got that European headache, which will impact on form lines, but we do have some major teams who must end winless streaks. Inter Milan, again, another Champions League side, I would suggest, playing Leipzig. So they're away, tend to be gettable. This is a derby-style match, AC Milan-Juve. Juve matches in derby-style matches, the recent one with Inter, up to 3-3. So you might want to look at over 2.5 goals here today as a neutral player. Atalanta should really have too much for newly promoted Parma. In the Eredivisie, again, I'll react primarily in play, but we've got more shorties, but they do have that headache of European football. PSV, or is it Europa League football for the Dutch sides? No, PSV again playing Shakhtar Donetsk. Yeah, I think Feyenoord must be involved in the Europa League. I'm sure they will be turning up there somewhere. I can't see them. No, I'm not going to look. The quickest way, of course, to see if they've played in Europe previously this season in the head-to-heads. Champions League. So, again, shorties in the Champions League should revert to type normally. We're expecting those 3 goals we saw from Bayern Munich, Monaco and PSG from this lot today. And in Spanish La Liga, as we know, we've got the cloud of Champions League impacting a number of these players, but a number of these teams. Barcelona have been wonderful this season. Looking forward to that. This could be a tight affair. The Islanders, Girona, Atletico odds on at home. La Liga 2 might be worth an interest. We'll be following that in the live stream. And Turkish Yorkshireman, IOP, fantastic. Kubatelli tea bags. Aye, 10:30 start. Get Tuck Whip it out. Get up Tuck Hill. Get some Horvis bread. Come down. Watch Tuck match. Fantastic stuff. Watch out for IOP Sport. Newly promoted. Live stream today on YouTube. So for those of you who aren't members, got a free football trading live stream on Sunday. Members will get Saturday, every single Saturday and every single Sunday. The reason I've opened it up on Sunday, we don't get enough attendance, and it will be a nice way to showcase football trading profits. But on Saturday, it's remaining for members, and all of the midweek Telegram tips are members only as well. But I hope you can come along, those of you who are non-members, tomorrow. Sundays are completely different, of course, a little quieter. We do tend to go off around the houses as well into lower tier stuff. As you can see, it's a lot smaller coupon, but we've still got the elite leagues. We've still got enough interest. So I'm looking forward to it. Normally a 2 p.m. start, which will start the Premier League first match and the French League first match. Get us involved in Bundesliga and Italian Serie A, a couple of 2 p.m. kickoffs as well. Perry Como, newly promoted, could be vulnerable against Fiorentina. So I hope you can attend on Sunday. Today's live stream is for members only, 2:30 p.m. I'll put all of the details here in the usual places for members. Hopefully, we've got. I've been working on 2.5 goals, as you see as well. I've just got down to Parma and Atalanta. So I've just shortlisting the 2.5 goal merchants for you today. A good thing to do, get something like Flash Score and put up the 2.5 goal matches in a star. So 2.5 goal matches, certainly Bournemouth and Brighton would stand out for me. And you could have that a Flash Score, and you could use Soccer 24 for perhaps your odds-on favourites list for later. That's what we do in the live stream. We prepare, I prepare at least on a Saturday, anything under 1.9, and make sure that I list. Because the market's done the work for you, it's telling you, we fancy this lot. Now, it's your job to go in play and see whether they're delivering as per their odds. Unique circumstances, of course, with the 4 consecutive defeats for City. But collect your odds-ons. They go into the My Games here, and you will be alerted every time a goal is scored in an odds-on favourite match. For example, here, you'd have been alerted to the newly promoted side scoring first, and you could prepare yourself for a possible trade then. So, Flash Score, I would use primarily for 2.5 goals, and I would also shortlist 2.5 goals by odds as well. Anything at home about under 1.5 interests me, and anything 1.3 odds and lower, because you saw yesterday Monaco, Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich, all similar. It's about 1.35 and lower, all delivering the 3 goals we expected. So it's a good shortlist for overs. The way you create value from these matches where over 2.5 goals is highly likely to be factored in to the price is by delaying. That's the best way you can create value, because if you look at 2.5 goals, well, let's have a look. 2.5 down here. So it's going to be a bit skinny, 1.29. So the best way to delay is wait 15 minutes and hope that it still remains 0-0 after 15 minutes. And then you can get something like 1.7, 1.8 about overs in a match where you're expecting overs. But don't forget, we've got the Champions League, which might impact upon results and form expectations. So 1.25, for example, 1.15, you're expecting more goals the shorter the odds. 1.15, expecting 3+ goals comfortably. We're expecting 3 goals as well. Possible win to 0 here and goals before half time. That's why I collect these shorties for odds on favourite for over 2.5 goal purposes, 1.43. And I'd go through the whole coupon and do that. So I've got a shortlist. Would also do it by league as well. Over 2.5 goals. My main focus is on leagues 60% or higher. You saw the Dutch Eerste got a reputation for overs. Why don't you focus on that league and take your pick? Don't do every single match overs, but do the matches which look, whose stats suggest overs in a league with overs. So you get over 2.5 goals here. Germany, Oberliga, Bremen. But we've got to look down at the leagues we can actually trade. So you work your way down. Wait for your first recognisable league. Premier League 2, 74%. We can trade this league. Note, it's not the Premier League. It's the Premier League 2, the under-21s. But boy, is it superb for 2.5 goals. That's why I keep mentioning it. And the Professional Development League at 71% overs. Keep delivering. They don't just deliver over 2.5 goals. Oftentimes, it's over 4.5 goals or even higher. So pick your overs from leagues like this. I thought that was the extra class, but it's the extra class of ladies. So there's not many of the elites, but when you get them breaching 60%, take note. Bundesliga, for example, 63%. That is fantastic. So you look for an overs match. Bayern Munich yesterday, 1.14 shots, expecting over 2.5 goals in an over 2.5 goals league. It's simple. Scottish Premiership is doing superbly as well, 62%. We took advantage of that last week, or a couple of weeks ago. We did a couple of profitable 2.5 goal trades just for the live stream members only, and it worked out. So we might look at that today. 62% league for over 2.5 goals, Scotland. This, of course, will evolve as the season evolves. You'll be moving up and down the league. Bundesliga 2. See why I like that so much. 4 out of 10 are not overs. 6 out of 10 are overs. So that's what I would focus on. See the Germans and the lower tiers in England, professional development and Premier League 2. Big under 20 and 21 bent, full of goals. So live stream, I'll be preparing that for members. And don't forget, if you want a free live stream, come along every Sunday now. So I'll give you enough time to digest your Yorkshire Puds. 2 o'clock kickoff tomorrow. Today's live stream is for members only. Have a great day. It looks a great day for trading, but we've also got that cloud of pre-Champions League, pre-Europa League, pre-Europa Conference League, which is turning teams like Manchester City, Arsenal and Aston Villa into Sunday League pub teams at the moment. Oh, it's bad to watch. See you at 2:30 onwards.